My name is Claudia Sanchez. This is Erin Singleton. We have a lot to cover here in the next hour. So I'm going to pass it over to Erin. He's going to guide us with the energy of life healing process.
All right. So most of you are seasoned practitioners. There might be a few new people. So as everyone turn your palms up to receive, both palms facing up. And we are going to send the energy into your palms. Think of your arms like they are straws. And as you inhale, draw the energy from your palms up your arms into your shoulders, your neck, and all the way up to the top of your head. Exhale down through your body and out your feet. Each continuing breath, draw the energy up the arms, all the way up to the top of your head. Exhale it down through your body and out your feet. Now, for some of you, this will just take a couple of breaths because you've done this before. For a few new people, it might take a few extra breaths. And don't be concerned if you don't feel it all through your body, in the first couple of minutes. The energy of life will open areas that are blocked, work its way through, releasing stress and tension. Now, hopefully, most of you have watched the first, second, and third video. The first one was on just basic EOL, like what I'm talking about right now. And the second one was all about using the EOL to adjust your own spine. Third one was about using the EOL to balance your chakras. And then here we are today with dialoguing with your body. All right.
Some folks just walked in.
So we're just going to stay with this for a moment. So palms up, receiving the energy we're sending, pulling it in through your hands, up the arms to the top of your head, and exhaling it down through your body and out your feet. As it washes over every cell in the body, it takes the stress out of muscles, relaxes everything, takes the stress out of the organs and glands. And you have to breathe anyway. So now you're just breathing with intention, with the energy flowing through you. Some of you probably already feel that stress just melting away, going out your feet. Start here.
So we all have the ability to communicate with our bodies. That's a given right once we're born. It's just a matter of being able to do that. And over time, with distractions and thinking things are impossible, we get blocked for all sorts of reasons. And before the energy of life healing process, I didn't have the ability to have this type of clarity with my body. And it's important to remember that you are consciousness, and therefore your organs, your glands, even your fields have consciousness, and you can communicate with them to kind of know where you're standing, what's going on with your body. And some of you will already get that sense of like, oh, something's not right, but you may not know exactly, what it is, but something's off. That's what's so great about the energy of life healing process. It helps to release a lot of the blockages to get you to that point where you can have that clarity. I think that's what I want to say right now.
All right. So when we dialogue with the body, we talk to the body just like we're talking to someone sitting beside you. Okay? So if I talk to my thyroid, I can have a conversation like, hello, thyroid, how are you doing today? And the thyroid can answer me just as if it was a person, and that is because of its consciousness. And if I ask the thyroid to tell me why it's sluggish, show me the reasons that it is overstimulated, then the ideal thing is to ask the question, pause, listen in a meditative way, and allow. The biggest part of this is allowing, giving your organs, your glands, a chance to talk, because they will tell you exactly why they're sluggish. And it's not like we have to decipher what they're saying. It is straight English, just like the questions that you were asking. Doesn't matter which organ or gland or bones we can ask.
Now, everyone has different ways of hearing. Some of you, like Aaron, has more of a knowing. Others are more visual. So whatever is your gift and what you have been given, it's not always necessarily voices. For me, I actually hear conversations. And that may not be the case for you. So you'll have to discover what works for you, the best way to communicate. And you know if you dream in color, if you see color, or if you hear sound. So that's going to be your journey. What we do here is we just want to gift this energy so that you have the ability to have more clarity, more intuition, grounding. And I will be doing more of these videos to teach you more and more how to use this energy. But it's really important to ask. And that's how I discovered that I was able to talk to it in this way. And it just kind of grew and grew to a whole new world where I can now talk to DNA and to viruses and all sorts of things. So whatever your journey is going to be special to you. So there's no comparison of, oh, this person can do that, that person can do this. Just see it as a discovery of what gifts are going to be opened up.
We'll tell about chocolate.
The chocolate. Oh, okay. So I sometimes can't, at the beginning, I couldn't hear very well. So what I would do is I would ask the energy of life healing process or spirit to put a chalkboard and write it. So I would visualize the question and they would write the answer. So that's one way. Something else was I noticed that when I was not grounded or when my polarity was off, I would get opposite answers or incorrect answers. And so what I started doing was a little kind of sign with the EOL, and I would ask a definite question. So I would say, is water good for me to drink every day? Or is alcohol good for me to drink every day? So I knew that if it said, no, water is not good and alcohol is fabulous, then I know that I was off. So these were tools that I started creating to figure out where I was. And if you are off, then you would ask the energy of life to help you ground or reset your polarity. And then you repeat the question again, and once you get the correct answer, oh, okay, is chocolate good for you? Is protein good for you? Then you'll know to go on with your healing and ask the question so that you can get correct, truthful answers.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything more truthful than what Claudia did with asking about water being good for you or alcohol being good for you, because we know those truths and they cannot be altered. So those are good ones for everyone, but you always can create your own. Now, as we started with the EOL flowing through the body, hopefully you did not waver from that as we've been talking, because just sitting there and allowing the energy to flow through as we're talking, if we look at time, over the last 10 minutes, how much more stress has left your body? So just being in that space is meditative, is clearing. And I highly recommend that you make it a daily routine, 15, 20 minutes every morning, getting the energy of life flowing through the body. Start your day that way. Clear anything that is going to interfere with you having a great day. And do it again at night just before bed if you can, to clear any stressors that came in. Now, as I said earlier about like the thyroid, I'd like everyone to, I'll ask the question, let's say, and you see what answers or images or what comes up on your chalkboard as far as the answers go. So just going to start with thyroid. How are you doing today? Are you happy? And of course, this is just a yes. Usually the answer comes so quickly that sometimes we miss it or we doubt it. And if the thyroid is not happy, ask the thyroid to show you what has caused that unhappiness. So thyroid, please show me what has caused this unhappiness. Allow the images, memories, the words to come. Now, for some of you, you'll get 1 word, 2 words. For some of you, you will get a full sentence or even a paragraph. Or you will get a whole burst of images to show you. Now, once you know that your thyroid is not happy and your thyroid has shown you why and told you, and you can ask thyroid, show me what I can do to help release or eliminate whatever is causing you unhappiness. Now, if that unhappiness is emotion, then you ask your thyroid to please show you what you need to do to release that emotion, or what emotion is it. So thyroid, what is the emotion that is causing you to be unhappy? Thyroid, are there toxins in you that I need to work on releasing? So you keep your questions kind of simple so they can be answered in a yes or no for the most part, till you get used to dialoguing and getting longer answers. Now you can talk to your thyroid for the next 20 minutes, half hour. You can get as much detail as you would like. Everything that stressed your thyroid, the present things and things going all the way back to your childhood. So even asking thyroid, when was the earliest stress put upon you? And you may find that the stress came from when you were 5 years old, just the stress, the chaos of the household, or 6-year-old when you went to school. Recently had a client about 3 weeks ago that actually let us know that using the EOL process and some of the tools that she had reversed her Hashimoto's. Another big one is, for some people, it's digestion. So you can ask your digestive system, the whole system. Now that gets a little complicated. Or you can simply go to your small intestine, because we know here is where things are supposed to be broken down and nutrients absorbed. And ask your small intestine, what is there that I can do to help you digest food better? Now, you may get that you need a probiotic. You may get that you have too much candida. But allow the small intestine to talk to you. And if it's not clear, then you simply ask a clarifying question. As you move on through and you get into the colon, and let's say you're a little constipated, and you ask your colon, why aren't things moving along normally? And your colon might say, I'm dehydrated. Well, you know how much water you drink or don't drink. It can be that simple. So you ask your colon, how much water do I need to drink a day, or how many glasses of water do I need to drink a day, basing that on an 8-ounce glass. And you let your colon tell you. So if you say, colon, how many glasses of water is optimal for you each day? And your colon says 6 or 5. I can guarantee you that when you start drinking the right amount of water, your colon will have a smile on it. And you will have a smile on it because you won't be constipated. It can be that simple. It can be just water. Other times it may be like a fiber, or it can be an emotion. So we can have an emotion in our ascending, transverse, or descending colon, or even just in the sigmoid, which is at the very end of the colon. And sometimes we'll get an answer that we have an emotion that is blocking. And we say, what is the emotion that is blocking your colon? And let's say it's anger. And we can say, when did that anger come in? What caused it? And you wait for the colon to answer you. And you might say something like, colon, are you ready to let go of that anger now? And if the colon says yes, then you work with the EOL process, you release that anger, and again, your colon is very happy. So it's all about simple questions, leading questions that lead to yes and no answers, or that lead to answers that are kind of definitive, but you can always fine tune, ask more and more questions, get it down to where you've got an answer that it's like complete. It doesn't matter if it's an autoimmune disease, if it's cancer. If we say to the body, what is the cause of this cancer? And it says emotion. Then we'll ask, what is the emotion? And then from there we ask, when did this emotion get lodged in the body? And we may be surprised to find that it's been there, for 20, 30, 40 years, but it was just waiting for something else to happen, and then it turned into the cancer. So there might be an emotion there also, along with some toxins. Okay. So there can be 2 or 3 different things that are really the cause of the cancer. So we always want to verify and clarify, body, is this cancer caused by 1, 2, or 3 different energies? This is where we can get the emotion, we can get toxins, we can get some other type of energies from the outside, maybe radio frequencies or whatever, that are part of that. So everyone take a moment and pick something in your body that you have a concern about. And if you don't have a concern, just pick something for fun. And ask a few simple questions about the pain in your neck, the ringing in your ears, pain in your big toe, it doesn't matter. I'm going to give you the next 2-3 minutes, ask a few questions, and then we're going to get a little feedback and see if we can't help you out. Okay. Now, the longer you take to get your answers probably means that you're getting in your head and starting to think. When we get in our heads and start to think, then we're no longer working with our true consciousness of the organs or glands of the body. And we can ask the question a second, even a third time, if we're not sure, or if we got in our heads. So we'll take the first person. What did you ask about, and what did you get as an answer?
We could, if you don't want to talk, you can also do it through the chat. That would be fine.
Hi, it's Amy.
Hi,
Okay,
Amy.
So this was interesting because I asked about my heart, and there was so much resistance to even asking about my heart, and fear and all of the stuff that came up with it. So then I knew I was in my head and tried to just go back to the question, and then it just showed up as bigger, the heart, and then it showed up as I was just seeing the color blue, and that's where it ended. Interesting though, because there was so much fear that it was like, obviously the emotion that's in the way is fear, because it didn't even want me to look at. It wasn't that it didn't want me to, there was something else in me that didn't want me to look at it. So obviously that was the biggest thing that I need to clear right now.
okay. And then, of course, you can ask your body, what is it that you need to do to clear it?
Mm.
Okay. So you carry the conversation on to get to the end of the conversation so that you know exactly what is there and exactly what you need to do to clear it. Now,
Okay.
even the fact that you got blue, ask your body, what does that blue mean? Is that a color that you need to use for healing? Because sometimes it's as simple as, oh, if I take the color blue as a piece of cloth, place it over my heart, that will release the emotion. So
Right.
even when we get colors and things, it's all about asking, okay, why did I get that color?
Okay.
All right, someone else, please.
Yeah, someone chatted, what if, Candy said, what if you do not hear, get anything? She wants to know about digestive stomach area.
Okay, if you don't get any answers, that's usually your head blocking things. I mean, sometimes it's your fear if you're really concerned about a health problem. But we get in our heads and we don't allow the information to come through from the body. That is going to take practice. The reason I say that, because that was me years ago, that I would get in my own way, had trouble getting answers. And the more I worked with the energy of life, I mean, because it was, it was given to me in '94 and I started using it. But, I had my own issues at that time. And, I had my control issues and things that were more up here than more about coming from my heart. So work with that, keep your questions simple, So they can be yes and no answers, and see if you can improve on that.
BC said it asked about the left leg and got an image of leaning to the left, like off kilter. I asked if there was an emotion. I got an image of pushing away with my hands, like being bothered about something.
Okay. And again, if you get, you know, if you're off kilter like that, does that mean that you have a pelvic tilt? Okay, now some of you are not going to be up on your anatomy and understand these type things as they come up. But that would be my first thought is if my body is leaning, is my pelvis tilted? But also if there's something that you're pushing away like that, then what am I pushing away? You know, you still take it to the next question.
And for those of you who haven't seen the first 3 of our videos, we have it on YouTube. This part 2 actually teaches you how to bring your body back into alignment with the EOL. That includes your pelvis, your hips, all of that. So you can refer to that teaching. Thank you. Let's see. Lily said that she asked about the ringing in her ears. I heard it was fear of criticism.
Okay. So if it's fear of criticism, again, when did that fear originate in your body? Because it's not something that probably just started up. So what is the earliest age that this fear come into my body? That would be the way I would address that. That would be the question. And if you do that, and then you get the age, then you see how long it's there. But also you get a sense of, you know, throughout your life, how it has built and built and built to where it is now. You release that and your ringing can go away.
I do want to go back to BC with the left leg. Did ask if what would help and got an image of a big movement like an arc or like a smile, and the image of moving that as an exercise, moving low and side to side.
Okay.
What is that?
All right. So now take that literally, the exercise. You know, when I started with this, one of the things I would do was put myself on the massage table, ask my body what position it needed to be in to adjust my spine. Now, what you're getting is an exercise that will help your hips and pelvis. So think of sometimes as like, okay, body, do you mean that I need to literally do this exercise?
Very cool. Thank you. Let's see. We have Tammy. Hi, Tammy. I have pain and soreness in my right hand. The pain is preventing me from using my hand comfortably. I have ascertained that the pain is connected to tension on the right side of the neck and down my right arm. I saw myself putting my hand in a bad position during sleep, which is where I have lost my place, where I may have strained. I'm not 100% sure if it's related to emotion, but I think it's anger and frustration.
All right. So that's great because now you're seeing the position that you're putting yourself in, and you're seeing the physical component. All right. So then you can ask and clarify, is there an emotion associated with this pain? What is the emotion? Ask your body to show you the best position to sleep in so that you don't put that stress on your arm and your neck.
Okay, Jessica. Jessica says she asked her digestive system and why I'm so sensitive to foods. The answer was the breakdown of the foods, emotional sadness and upset. It's the energies coming in from everywhere. I wanted to stop the upset.
All right. So if you ask your stomach or your body, what is the earliest age that these emotions came in and started affecting your digestion, and you go back and then you heal those. I mean, this is how I'm working right now to get rid of people's irritable bowel syndrome and nervous stomach and all kinds of things, is to go into the emotion that is in the abdomen and go back in time and look at it at, you know, this age and lower age, all the way back to the very first time that emotion got stuck there. And then there is a release from the brain, and then the whole abdominal area relaxes, and people are eating things they couldn't eat before. And it's that easy. Just ask your body.
Now, here's the thing. Your body's amazing. It will make you forget about things that occurred maybe when you were 2, 3, 4 years old as a form of protection. So you might hear an age, could even be what, 10 years old, doesn't matter. And you'll be like, I don't remember being, sad or angry during that time. So it could be two things. Either you just kind of blocked it out, or you just don't remember, or the emotion can also be from someone else. So many times when we're younger, we're very open. And if we see or hear something that's, whether frightening or someone in the family, someone passed away, and there's relatives where, they're really grieving, sometimes we tend to, it's a subconscious thing, but we want to heal, and we can take that stuff on. And even when you're in the womb, you can take things on. And I've seen things even at 4 months in utero, actual conversations, and that doesn't have to be where you have to experience or know in terms of having to release it. But in my experience, I've seen things that belong to family members, and that can just kind of create more and more of you attracting it as you evolve. So
So one of the things, I'm glad this come up, because it's like, okay, the stress in your body right now, ask your body how much of the stress you are carrying is yours and how much of it belongs to other people. So that would mean your mother, father, your spouse. Are you carrying their stress? So what percentage is your stress? What percentage is theirs? Now you can do it as percentages. You can look at it, have it pop in your head like a pie graph. It's whatever works for you to get that percentage.
I also want to add to that last thing I was mentioning. Like I said, you don't have to remember something in order to release it. If you hear that it's sadness, you don't have to get into it. You don't have to dwell into it like, oh, okay, what was it that happened, or this and that. That you don't have to do that. You can ask the EOL to just release the sadness out of there, which is why I love Aaron. Aaron is the creator of biomorphic geometry, which I love because it bypasses your brain. So that's another tool. We have some questions here. So Esther says she asked about her kidney. What emotion, which came up as anger, was the answer. And she's still waiting for an answer as to when it started.
Okay.
She hasn't heard yet.
So the main thing there is, if you know that it's anger in your kidney, you can go ahead and release the anger. Ask your body what it needs to do, what you need to do to release the anger. Make note of it. Come back later and figure out the earliest time. Because if I'm working on myself, I really don't care about when it started, as long as I can let it go. I can come back later and figure that out. The main thing is to get it out of the body. So some people have to know, and that's okay. So if you're one of those people that has to know when it started and everything and all the details, it's just going to take you a little longer to let it go. And you can just jump on it and 1, 2, 3, and it's gone. All right.
One more question. Let's see. Jade said the eyes are dry, constant blinking, allergies for a long time. Okay, that's
All right, so if your eyes have been dry for a long time, what is the question you're asking your eyes? When did this begin? What is the root cause of you being, you're talking to your eyes. What is the root cause of you being dry? See what comes to you. Sometimes it will be an emotion even. I had someone years ago that couldn't read more than 10 minutes and her eyes would get so tired she'd have to put the book down. And that doesn't work too well when you're reading a novel or something. And when I was tuning in, I saw sadness trapped in her optic nerve. The sadness was there from age 6. This was a person that was around 55 at the time. And we released the sadness from the optic nerve, and that very day, she could read 200 pages and her eyes didn't get tired. So just remember, keep the questions coming. Take your time, but keep the questions coming. Your body will answer.
Okay, we have a pass. Sorry, I'm trying to get the name here. JD. Sorry if I can't read so well your name, but it's asking about, it's not asking a, let's see, asking the question, no answer. What if the problem is coming from a traumatic experience in a past life? Let's see.
Okay.
You release the vows and contracts and have forgiven yours and all involved. For a few days, healing changes take place. Then the body says nope, and the healing stops.
Okay. If you have something like that where it's things from a past life and you get to a certain place and healing stops, it's still about asking the question, why did it stop? What needs to be cleared in order for the healing to continue? It's still just ask your body.
Sometimes, well, not sometimes for me, a lot of times actually, because I have been healing a lot of fear from not only this lifetime but past lifetime. And when the fear gets involved, I have to make sure that I'm grounded, because when you are not grounded, your emotions can tend to kind of control the situation. So make sure you're grounded, make sure your polarity is reset, and you can ask the UL to set aside the emotion, and you can also say clear blockages to truth. So that's another thing you can say, clear blockages to truth. If you find that you keep on grounding and you just, the emotion keeps on taking you off, you can say, clear the blockages that are keeping me from grounding or resetting my polarity. Usually when that happens, I'll get, depending on how strong the fears or the emotion is, it can be anger also, it could be sadness, it can be pretty much anything. But for me, it's mainly fear, wanting to know the truth. So that's another tool you can use to remove the emotion, even if it's just for a moment. And at that moment, when you ask for it to be released, do quickly your check to make sure that you're getting the correct answer, like the water alcohol question. And then sometimes I have to ask really fast because I know that potentially the fear will come right back in. So that's just something you can do. Hopefully that will help.
And for some of you, I want to remind you that sometimes your answer will come so quick that you're asking the question, the answer is coming before you even finish the question, and you will miss it. Okay. The others, it's more of, as you pause and you get in your head, you actually create a block because now you're in your head. So the answer is just not coming. All right. Someone else question?
No questions. Any other questions? Yeah, you gotta change the frequency. She was saying change the frequencies. And that's how I do it. I just release the frequencies by releasing the blockages to hearing the truth. That's how I do that. Thank you. That's great. That's great. That's some great feedback.
All right. How's everybody doing? Not getting anything from some of you.
That's okay. Sometimes, they're probably still trying to get the answers. And again, you may not hear anything if you're still kind of new to talking to your body. First of all, I couldn't not only could I not hear, I couldn't even feel energy, even though I was somewhat of a medium and doing healing work, I couldn't really feel frequency, which was kind of annoying because everybody in class would be like, oh, I can feel the crystals, I can feel this. So it takes time, but once I started with working with the energy of life healing process, it's like everything shifted. My whole world just opened up. But it is important even just to flow it through, because the frequency just keeps on. The energy of life becomes a part of you, and it just grows. It just grows and grows. And so just keep that in mind, even if it's for 5 minutes, just to flow it through and clear you. It'll build. Anyone else?
How is your questioning going?
We'll just give you a moment to ask any questions. That's their bodies. Doing good. That's everybody. Oh, we got it. Oh, okay. Someone just logged in because I got stuck in the traffic in the Gillette. I'm sorry. Oh, that's okay. Just go ahead and put your palms up. We're gonna send you the energy of life, and you'll have an opportunity. We put it on YouTube, so make sure you check out the Way to Balance on YouTube, and check out part 1, 2, 3, 4. Just don't do it all at one time, because you'll be energetically probably going to a serious detox there, which is never any fun.
So-
oh, someone else, sorry. Amy, just a note that I've been yawning, releasing. Oh, that's a good point. Energies this whole time. You can
Okay,
explain that. Yeah.
great. So when we do release, when we get the answers we need and we start releasing, we yawn, we sigh. The body, it's like the pressure in the body is changing. So we get more relaxed, head gets clear. So don't be surprised. I mean, sometimes it's just, that's all it is. You just relax into your chair. Actually, I had a client today, a new client, and we were dialoguing with the body. And she's scheduled to have her uterus removed around the 1st of August. And we got to talking with her uterus and found that her uterus had been struggling and fighting, and had finally decided that it was time. So she talked to her uterus and made peace and said, I love you. And she thanked her uterus thanked her. And now she is all ready and prepared for surgery. So she's not going into surgery in fear or doubt. So, sometimes when we talk about talking, dialoguing, and healing, sometimes it's that type of healing, as we can help the body prepare for something like surgery.
I also want to add that sometimes you might hear, if you do start to hear voices, the frequency might sound angry. So I had tuned into my friend's polyps, and one of the things that I'm able to do is I actually can channel through me emotions, and like I'll speak to someone's body and allow the emotions, the body, the consciousness of the body actually speak through me. And it's wild how like my voice will change. And my friend had a lot of anger. Actually, 2 of my friends had a lot of anger. And so my voice would get really furious, like, what do you want? That kind of intensity. And it kind of shocks me. So don't be surprised if the emotion will come through through the frequency, through the vibration. Don't let it scare you. Just know, always address it with love. The love is so powerful that when you just surround it with love, it softens, and then it's a lot easier to ask the questions. Even if you feel like there's fear there, just hold the intention to bring love into the frequency. And
Yeah, it's like saying, to that part that is sounding so angry, it's like, hey, why are you so angry? What has caused this anger? And it will tell you.
There's more yawning going on. Thank you for letting us know. That's good. That's a release. So I release strangely through screaming, and that's really something I would like to change, but everyone has a different form of release. Aaron just has a knowing, and he will feel, sometimes he'll feel energy coming out his feet, or his body's relaxed. For me, for some time, I guess I couldn't have my voice when I was a child. I couldn't speak, and so I was stifled a lot. And for some reason, that's how it's manifesting. When I heal, I tend to yell. It's becoming less, but don't be surprised if you have these very odd releases aside from yawning or shaking. The body might actually physically shake. So when I initially started releasing and talking to the anger might start cursing at you. That literally, and it wasn't an entity, it wasn't like an attachment. It was literally anger and saying things that it was never going to leave. But of course, we know better than that. So just a heads up, and it's not to be afraid. Again, bring in love. If ever you feel any kind of fear or anger, focus and bring in that frequency of love in. Let's see, we have Tammy. She says, I've been feeling the energy enveloping my arm this whole time, a lot of tension releasing, great, and relief in my neck. The hands feel bruised inside, so still sore, but much less tension. Fabulous. Thank you. Again, more yawning. Thank you, BC.
So one of the things too, when we're doing all of this is to, sometimes the most healing thing we can do is tell that part of the body that you love it. You can put your hand on your heart and you can say, heart, I love you. If you're having trouble with your digestive system, you put your hand on your abdomen and say, small intestine and colon, I love you. Put your hand on your liver and say, liver, I love you. Your thyroid, I love you. When we say, I love you, we can actually change the consciousness in that area and improve the overall health of that organ or gland. Now, granted, we can't put our hand directly on everything just because of where they are in the body, but you put your hand in the general area. When you put your hand on your pelvis, you know that you have your bladder, your uterus, your ovaries, everything else down through there. That is part of where you're sending that love. Okay. Your kidneys, you're not going to reach your hand around your back and try to be close to your kidneys. You can put your hands on your lower abdomen from the front and just send that love through to the kidneys. And I'd like everyone to try that. So pick a part of the body that you think needs that love right now. I mean, for the heart, pretty much all of us need that. Put your hand on your heart and say it 3 times. Heart, I love you.
Heart, I love you. Heart, I love you.
So how did your heart respond? Did you feel your whole body relax?
Hi, it's Amy.
Okay.
Mine are generally visual and they're pretty funny sometimes because I don't know what what it means. But at first it was like my heart was just tired. And when I said it, the last time it showed me this dancer that was like, yeah, like, oh yeah. It was pretty funny.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so joyful. I love
Yeah.
it.
So just doing something that simple literally lifts the energy, and actually your immune system responds to that very well.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see, Amy said their eyes usually water. Okay, another release. Andrea was saying, I asked my body about the excess fluid I've been retaining. The answer has to do with the posture combined with stress. I also saw the image of a faucet dripping, one drip at a time. Asked if I needed more water. Was a sign that I'm not draining water, that I'm not draining or drinking water, but I heard nothing. Okay.
Okay, so in a case where you hear nothing, you know, reform your question, go back and ask again, just to clarify, because your body will still answer you. So it's like never take no for an answer. You can always ask the question 2-3 times. You can always rearrange the wording so that your, you know, body will answer you a little, you know, a little differently, a little better.
And if you don't hear anything, it could also, again, keep on checking the grounding. That's real. I can't reiterate that enough because that's been always, that has been for a long time, my challenge. And that's what I've learned is if I don't hear anything, then it's grounding, usually grounding. If you tend to hear opposite, usually it tends to be the reset. The polarity is off. Let's see. Wow, okay, now they're coming in.
Hi, this is Anne Marie. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hi, Emily.
Hi, I said, I'm the one that missed the whole class, but I said, Nick, I love you. Because I just came back from the chiropractor and got stuck in that Luke Bryan traffic. And I heard nothing. I mean, should I be asking a question or just saying, Nick, I love you?
Just saying, neck, I love you. So saying neck, I love you sometimes will be just enough and the neck will start relaxing on its own.
Okay, I mean, can I do that every day?
Oh, sure,
yeah.
sure. I mean, you're not limited to loving one body part at a time every day. You can make the rounds. You can go to your neck and you can go to your jaw, your heart, your liver.
And
You know,
you could do also your whole body, you know, if you feel like you don't have enough time and but what happens is you start to let go. Sometimes when I'm holding a lot of sadness in my heart and I tell my heart I love it, out of nowhere I just start crying and it's a form of release. So it's really important, even if you don't feel, you know, oh, I'm saying I love you, but it feels like the words are empty because you're not feeling that great that day. Believe it or not, to some level, your body is actually hearing it. So say it no matter what.
Okay.
So Lilius also said that her sinuses started draining. I get back into sinus rhythm by loving my heart. Oh, that's great.
yes. So
That's Les Linda. Sorry, that's Linda.
yes, the sinus node is the name given to the body's own pacemaker for the heart. So when we love our heart, the heart will go into what they call sinus rhythm. And so not to confuse that with the sinuses draining. But yes, we can actually change the conditions in the heart. We can get rid of irregular heartbeats and flutters and repair the valves and everything just by loving our heart.
Okay. Catherine wants to know, what do you do for grounding? Is the walking barefoot on the grass? That's one way.
Okay, so there's a little, let's say, walking barefoot is a form of grounding, but that's more associated with earthing as far as the negative electrons from the earth coming up through the body, going out the highest point, which is usually the head. And that takes stress and inflammation and tension and everything out of the body. But when you're talking about grounding, energetic grounding, we're talking about grounding so that you can be clear in your thoughts, in your questions and answers. So it's different. It is quite different. So you can visualize, you know, taking your feet like they are the bottoms of the tree and sending roots down into the ground into the earth to be grounded. makes a big difference in how, because if you're not grounded, you, well, think of a plant that's not grounded, how easy it not doesn't have deep roots, how easy it is to pull that plant out of the ground. Okay, so we want to be fully grounded so that our answers are coming from a good place deep within the earth.
But also use the energy of life healing process. The energy of life healing process will ground you. You just focus and ask the EOL to help you ground and just feel the flow. Now, I will tell you from someone who gets distracted and who's quite impatient and learning this still in the process, that I notice that the EOL sometimes will stop because I get up and I start thinking about other things. So bring yourself back, whatever your intention was, like if you're releasing an emotion or if you're bringing your body into alignment or you're grounding, take that moment for yourself, love yourself in that moment. And that is what my practice, what I'm doing, but I want to share that with you. To just take that 5 minutes to ground, ask energy of life. What I like to do feels like a little bit of like Wonder Woman. I would say, energy of life, activate. And I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. But when I started doing that, I felt the surge in my body. And it was a little weird at first because I was like, wow, this is really pretty magical. Now I'm used to it. I feel energy all the time. But if you don't feel anything, again, it just takes practice every day. If you just do it once a month, it's not, you're not gonna, it's not
Yep.
great.
So now we just have to get her bracelets and,
Yeah,
have her Wonder Woman bracelets.
right. It is about 8:00, past 8:00.
Okay.
Is there, should we ask for any last questions? All right, does anybody have any other last questions or feedback of what you're feeling? So we're in any rush. If you folks have to leave, but we're gonna be here for a little bit longer. Let's see, okay, great, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Anybody wants to ask any questions or anything at all?
Thank you. Just thank you.
Oh, thank you, Amy.
You're welcome.
Oh, okay, great. Someone's asking, this was very practical. Thank you, BC. You're welcome. Definitely check out Aaron. He's got really cool videos. They're on TikTok and he's putting them now on YouTube. We haven't really been into the whole social media thing. I mean, he's been doing this for like 30 years and he keeps on getting better. And finally we're like, we gotta get him out there. We gotta get out there and do this stuff. We are going to be doing more expos. Someone has a great question. They want to understand polarity. Can you explain to them about polarity?
Okay, polarity very quickly. Polarity was discovered, I believe, in the 1800s, and that is that polarity in that we have an electrical charge in the body, because the body's like a big battery, all the electrons spinning in the cells, and when you stand with your arms out to your side, top of your head is positive and the bottoms of your feet are negative. But when you're holding your hands out to the side, okay, the top of your hand is positive, palm of the hand is negative. Now we can take this from the body as a whole to, we go up the arm here at the shoulder, humerus at this end is positive. When it comes to the elbow, it is the negative end of that bone. And we have two bones here, ulnar and radius. At the upper end, they're positive. The lower end, they are negative. And then positive, negative, positive, negative. Every joint, every bone has a positive and negative end to it, just like a battery. Okay, so that polarity through the body can get thrown off by too much emotional energy, by shock to the body. People get it thrown off at car accidents or bad falls. So when you're resetting your polarity, you're making sure that that electrical flow is going in the right direction. Okay, because if it's gotten messed up because of stress or emotion, it will throw things off. It can affect the function of your organs and glands. But when you're trying to get answers, it will definitely reverse your answers. A lot of times you'll get yes instead of no. No instead of yes.
Can I
And
say something on that also?
Sure.
So a while ago, I'll douse for what supplements I'm supposed to take. And sometimes one time I was like, why is everything no? Like everything, and I just felt like it was off. And now Erin told me the trick of water and alcohol. So now I'll test it. And when my polarity is off, I've actually taken your biomorphic geometry card and I stand over it and I've tested how long it takes for my polarity to go back. It's less than 10 minutes. Sometimes it's as quick as 4 minutes, 5 minutes, but it's the easiest way because I didn't know. A lot of times I would douse and I would just take supplements based on what it's showing me. But now I know sometimes it was wrong because my polarity was completely opposite. So that's the first thing I do is check it now. And the
All right.
polarity card you have is super fast.
Okay, well, now thank you for that. Now, if you think of using the polarity card and using the EOL
That's what
to
I was saying.
reset the polarity at the same time, you'll take
Hmm.
that 10 minutes down to a
Or
minute.
4 minutes down to 2 minutes, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I will do that. Thank you.
We're constantly learning stuff because we're constantly asking questions. So we're learning new things to do with the tools that Erin has. Erin actually created with all the biomorphic geometry. And for those of you who don't know biomorphic geometry, if you're new to it, it's well, you can explain it. in
Well,
short.
just go to the website, because
Yeah,
that'll be something, that's a long,
I mean, in short, it's basically your DNA brings out light and takes on information. That was proven in the 1970s. So Erin gets downloads of numbers that encode where your DNA can actually read the code and it will know what to do. So like we have an anti-anxiety bracelet, so it'll know where the anxiety is in the body and we'll start to release it. Of course, you can also do that with the energy of life healing process. These are just all tools. Everybody just finds what works for them. Anyone else want any other questions?
I have a question about the polarity. This is Anne Marie. I took a while ago, years ago, when I was in massage school, I took a short polarity class, just an intro. And one of the things we did, and I'm not understanding it as even how you explained it, we had our hands on the client, say left shoulder and right hip, and we rocked them. And that was something we learned during the 3-hour course. How does that work?
well, because if you look at the shoulder and what is the polarity there and the polarity of the hip, and you are becoming the conductor of the energy by
Right.
holding both the shoulder and the hip at the same time. So the electricity that is in our bodies is flowing through you and the person that you have your hands on, and that will help balance or reset their polarity. So there is even there's a book called Biocircuits, and it's all about how to do things like that with steel mesh pads and wires and everything. So it's there's always more than one way to do it. And by using the polarity card or by using the EOL process, we can set the polarity of the whole body in just a minute or two, compared to putting the hands on and taking, 20 minutes, a half an hour to go from parts to part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've just taken that and sped it up a little bit.
Thank you.
And for those of you who don't know, next week we're having another class. It's also free. You're more than welcome to come in. It's about Egypt. We're leading a tour in December for people who are curious about Egypt, or thinking about going, or just curious about Egypt in general. But it's going to be really cool because Erin is going to, it's kind of experiential. So you get to feel what it's like to be in certain places, tombs, areas in Egypt, and he will bring that energy to you, right?
Right.
To your
So
home.
I'm gonna project the energy, but I am not gonna put you in a tomb. Okay.
Karen, was I at the last time we were at Egypt, or you were at Egypt?
Say again the first part of that.
I went to Egypt. I don't remember the date. I think it was 2006 or 7.
Okay, that would have been 2006. So I was there again in 2008 and 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good question. I wanted regarding back to polarity, is it impacted by hydration, EMF fields, and earth energies? Oh,
Yes, so to answer that, yes, your polarity can be affected by earth energies. So even as you are traveling, especially, you get on the plane, the polarity of the earth where you are is positive. You get off somewhere else, it's negative. Then you need to connect with the earth there to reset your polarity, or you ask the EOL to reset your polarity. It's that simple. But as we said before, big time stress and all kinds of other things throw it off.
yeah, when I'm on my phone for too long, we discovered, because I'm sensitive to frequencies, we discovered there's all sorts of things coming off the phone, in the forms of light, such as algorithms, and aside from the blue light, and aside from the EMFs, there's also what we call man-made frequencies. So that's a new thing that we discovered about 6 months ago, because it was actually creating holes in my fields, and I was getting all kinds of strange attachments. And we discovered that I just would get like kind of like a brain fog. My intuition would be absolutely like zilch, and we discovered that this is not great. I just ordered today a phone that's from Europe that's 5G, 4G, so I don't have these problems. But anyway, you have something to say? Go for it.
Yeah, so yes, you can be thrown off by the phone. For any of you that go and get an MRI, because that is electromagnetic energy, that can throw you off. Other medical procedures, sometimes there'll be a little bit of an electrical charge with some of the devices that are used. So yes, there are multiple things that can throw your polarity off.
Oh, and when you go to the airport, that scanner that we have to put, do not go through there. There was people who have, it's really messed up their intuition. So you can ask to opt out, which I've done, and it's just a little bit, takes a little bit more time to get somebody to pat you down, but it is totally worth it. You don't want to throw off it's not just your polarity, but it's also like your biocircuits, all kinds of stuff. So just, if you're traveling, just remember, opt out, and it's okay.
Will the
It's the one
polarity,
that- Huh?
will the polarity card bring you back into balance after an MRI or X-ray?
Yes, if you use the polarity card and the EOL, it will bring you back.
And you ask the EOL to clear
Clear
the radiation.
the radiation from, well, the electromagnetic radiation from the MRI.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
mhm.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to buy the polarity card. Can you use one anti-anxiety bracelet, or do you have to have two?
No, it's just one.
You didn't give them the stressies.
Right, you can do that now
All right.
at this time. All right. So before we go here, we're gonna give you a drop of Stress Easy
One,
to
two.
we
We do 1 and 2. Stress easy. 1
Yeah.
and 2.
we're gonna give you Stress Easy, Stress Easy and Stress Easy 2. So the first one that we're gonna put into your palm. So which palm would you like it in? Just turn that palm up. Here comes the energy of Stress Easy coming in right now. And just pay attention, rub your palms together just briefly, 1, 2, that's all you need. Feel the energy of the Stress Easy go up the arms into the body. Might feel it go to your neck and shoulders, your head, or any other part. And we're going to put together the energy of Stress Easy 2. Stress Easy works more on the brain, central nervous system, vagus nerve. Stress Easy 2 works more on the sympathetic nervous system, cranial nerves, facial nerves, things of that nature, the phrenic nerve, which goes to your diaphragm. So a little different feel. And here comes Stress Easy 2 coming in. Hopefully you got a palm ready, because we're going to put it in your palm. Can be the same palm or the other one, doesn't matter. It's coming into your palm right now. Again, rub your palms together. And now the energy that we're sending, this can stay in your body and be releasing stress for maybe even the next 3 hours. So for some of you that are going to be hitting the sack soon, hopefully this will get you off to a good start and a good night's sleep. All right.
If those of you who are interested, unfortunately, we don't have Stress Easy 2 online, but will be soon. Let's see, anything else we could think of? Just checking our sites. We're going to be putting on some more classes for the end of the year coming up. That should be coming up in the next few weeks.
Yep, so we've got plenty of free things that we're going to be doing, as well as some paid classes, and we are going to be doing a lot of, you know, little things throughout southern New Hampshire and Maine. And you know, we say little things, little one-day events, so you can catch us at our booth, and all of that information is most of it is online already.
Aaron, can you find this class on YouTube?
Yes, Margaret, who's the office manager, she will have that up. Let's see, hopefully in the next few days.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, just have you seen our other YouTube videos of the EO Energy of Life?
I don't think so.
It's on there. Start with number 1. It won't say part 1. It's just, it'll say the energy of life. Then you'll see part 2. The part 1 explains the history of the energy of life and about Egypt and how it came to Aaron. And then the part 2 is how to work with your structure of your body, how to bring things into alignment. 3, Aaron does the chakras, how to work with the chakras with the energy of life.
Oh, I missed that class.
Yeah, do it from the beginning. It's all on there. And if you can't find it, just send an email at the info@thewaytobalance, and we could send you the link. And everyone's so great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, both of you.
Thank you so much for being open and being a part of the experience, and just do the work, do the healing, and don't ever let the days get you down. Just know that you'll get through it.
All right, goodbye and good night.
Lots of love. Adios. Ciao.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.